Hello, one, hello, all, and welcome to Similori Sports Complex, folks. There is playoff action ahead. It is playoff time here in Westerly. We have some ladies fast pitch softball. What a season this team has had, 14-4 in the division to end the regular season. Their opponent today, the Lincoln Lions. But first off, prior to this game or anything moving forward, I just want to say congratulations to this softball team. What they've done this season is beyond tremendous. There really isn't an adjective. I've had an opportunity today to actually sit back and really look at some of the numbers. I'm a numbers guy, but I'm going to go beyond the numbers here. And there are no seniors on this team whatsoever. There are 3 juniors on this team that lead this team. That you have to understand, those 3 juniors don't even have leaders ahead of them. So they had to develop young, they had to develop early, and this entire team is returning. 22 players are returning, and 19 out of those 22 are returning for 2 or more years. Westerly fields 3 juniors, 9 sophomores, and 10 freshmen. It's unheard of the season they have put together. So, I want to congratulate the fans because we have a packed house yet again. These games, regular season, I can't even imagine what this tonight's going to turn into, but the fans have been absolutely tremendous. The atmosphere here is second to absolutely none here in Westerly. And like I said, it's going to be just beyond, I'm beyond excited. But prior to the game, I wanted to thank the fans. I want to thank the viewers and listeners. I want to thank the coaches because they have done just an unbelievable job. Folks, they had 19 players that they have never seen, or they have 10 freshmen that they had never even played coach before. And they had to bring these players together, mesh them together as athletes prior to even getting them on the field to do the physical task of becoming a team. And they did it in such a fast variety. It's just, I wanted to get that out there prior to however this game ends up. The way it does spin out, though, this is the last game here in Westerly. That's why I wanted to congratulate this team because, man, what they've provided us for excitement, and I want to say us, I am the voice, Greg Moreno, alongside producer-owner Shane Belanger. We have Lisa behind the lens. We are Westerly.live, Westerly.radio, and we're bringing it to you hard again. Playoff action here in Westerly, and this team all season long, they have brought to us bottom of the 7th inning comebacks. They have brought to us extra inning victories. They've brought to us slow, methodical comebacks, plays at the plate, every piece of home runs, balls off the fence, just as they break a little team huddle there and they're about to take the field. And many, if not all, of these players have never played in the playoffs. So going forward, I wish the best to this team, but I just wanted to congratulate them, their fans, the coaches, for what they've done thus far. That being said, if they do win the game, they move on to Tollgate. And I don't know how the playoffs worked out and how Tollgate ended up 15-4, the Bulldogs 14-4, so they head on the road. This is a single elimination game, folks, they will move on into a double elimination tournament if they win today. If they don't win today, folks, that's why I wanted to get that all out prior to the game because I'm super excited, and once the action starts, I'm not going to sit back and look at this stuff. So I wanted to congratulate the team like I did, but when this game is over, they're heading out. They're hitting the road, and if they do win this game, they get two opportunities. They get into a double elimination tournament, and we will wish them the best in that tournament. So we have Sophie Valentini on the rubber warming up for the Bulldogs, a sophomore. She got spot work last year as it was a senior starting pitcher, pretty much the way you want to bring your pitcher in. But now she's got a year under her belt working with the captain, the catcher, Dina Arnold, the heart and soul of this squad, along with Ava Tenuta in the outfield. Doesn't get mentioned as much, and none of the outfielders really do. And they all deserve mentioning. You have Ava Tenuta, you have Maya Henderson out in center field, and we're ready to get started here, folks. Live, Similori Field, Lady Bulldog fast pitch softball playoff action right here. Westerly Bulldogs, Lincoln Lions, top of the first. Here we go. And the windup. The first pitch, ground ball, and that's going to get through the gap between third and short. So that's the way the Lions want to start. First pitch hitting, and they sneak one in there for a hit. Leadoff batter on, runner on first, and nobody out. Number 7 stepping in for the Lions, Morgan White. I think maybe Valentini got caught trying to just get a strike under her belt in the game. That happens. I wouldn't have any concern. But I will tell you, in warm-ups, folks, this Lions team looked sharp. And the swing and a miss. Nice spin on that pitch and nice change of speed. When she has control of her change of speed, and she also throws that she throws a tremendous hook as well as a pitch that drops in and down on the right-handed batters. Sophie Valentini is going to be such a tough pitcher to hit in the future. Squares the bunt, pulls back, and the runner makes her way to second base. stumbles her way in as the ball trickled away a little bit. So the Lions quickly with runner in scoring position here early on at the top of the first as the Bulldog crowd still maneuvering their way in. But let me tell you, there's a lot of people on hand here, folks. Both sides, the Lions brought them. And that ball is inside, call the ball. Ball number 2, and it's 2 and the count is, 1-1. Oh, and 1-1's the count. 1-2's the count. All right, here we go, folks. I'm warming up too. And the pitch up and away, didn't get her to chase. 2-2 the count here. Runners on second base. Top of the first inning, folks. First bit of playoff action in the spring, right here and right now. And that pitch is upstairs, lets it go for a ball. And it's going to be a full count here, folks. First base open. If you're Valentini, you really don't want to give her anything too much. I think that's what's been going on here. You can create a force anywhere, and you don't want to make a mistake. Pitch over the plate and off the handles, and that's going to be handled by Storr, the shortstop, sophomore, multi-sport athlete, leader of the infield, really superb athlete, especially for her age. She'll be back for 2 more years. And I'm going to emphasize that, folks. We got a lot of this going forward in all of the programs, really. Like I said, this is the first bit of playoff action for the spring sports. We still got the division champion baseball squad right across the complex. They're going to get started on either Thursday or Friday. And the pitch, trying to steal third. The throw, the tag, it's a little late. She makes her way to third, folks. So with 1 out, the runner makes her way to third base, where a sacrifice or a hit to the right more than likely will score. The Bulldogs defense is staying backed up at their normal depth. Corners somewhat in, just ahead of the base. 1 out, so a sacrifice available. Swing and looking for a fly ball there and a miss. So ahead, possibly of the first batter of the night, Valentini, just getting into a groove. And swing, drive to left field. That's going to play the runner. And that one's going to get by a bad angle played. That's going to get over to the base of the fence and be a stand-up double. Relay into Storr, and the Lions are in action. Came off the bus ready. And I'm going to tell you, folks, I talked to Coach Luppy prior to the game, and he told me about this Lion team and how dangerous they were and how they have an overpowering pitcher as well. So not to throw the record right out the books. And we watched them, myself and the owner, Shane Belanger, and they were very sharp in warm-ups, folks, let me tell you. And that was defensively. What we're seeing from them out the gates offensively is a very sharp team. And that's what you do in the playoffs, folks. You throw the records out the darn window because it doesn't matter. Today's play or go home. And the pitch fouled off and out of play. So the leadoff 3 hitters have proved for the Lions that they are fully capable. There's 1 out, runner on second base, and the Bulldogs down 1-0. Top of the first inning, Valentini definitely getting her warm-ups in here in the top of the first. And that breaks away a nice pitch and a nice effort by the batter. She sprayed that thing into right field just a little too late. So ahead in the count, 0-2 Valentini. Now, we can't completely throw out the fact that these ladies haven't played in 90-degree heat all year long either. The pitch, sprayed to right field, trying again to go with the pitch. And that's in a tough spot, but it's going to go foul. So a nice job again of going with the pitch, a little under it, but they are utilizing the outside portion of the play, and that's where Valentina's breaking ball goes. Number 20 at bat, Lime Torres, a sophomore. The Lions come in with 4 seniors, 2 juniors, 4 freshmen, and 4 sophomores. The pitch, and that's going to be the shortstop over the head of Storr into the outfield for a clean single and bobbled by the Bulldog outfielder. That's going to give her a shot at second base, and it gets by Vedolino at second. And the Bulldogs all out of sync turns into another run-scoring single with an error that scored the run. Excuse me, you won't get the RBI on that one. You're going to get a single, an error on Henderson, and then no, there won't be an error on second base. She didn't advance. Either way, folks, it's not starting out great. That was a clean single, nothing defensively the Bulldogs could have done about it, but both balls in the outfield. The first one, bad angle. Should have never gotten to the fence, and that's going to be a quick swing, 0-1 count. The first one that scored the run got to the left field fence, and it should have never gotten there. It was an angle problem. That one was bobbled, and the relay wasn't even that great. There's been a problem with pitcher-catcher so far, so we've had some issues here opening things up, maybe nerves. And did you ever think of that these players have never played in the playoffs, folks? That's why I wanted to congratulate them prior to anything. The best thing for these girls is this game. Playoff opportunity, playoff games under their belt, playoff experience moving forward. And the pitch by Valentini, a big secondary they take and rushes back. Arnold with a missile in the, I was about to say in the backfield. Behind home plate here. So the Bulldogs quickly down 2-0, top of the first, runner on second, no, and one out. And nice breaking ball called for a strike. So evens things up here at 2-2. So the hits for the Lions have not been errors. But they have not been fielded cleanly for the Bulldogs. Swing and a miss. Nice job. Got her to go upstairs. Out number 2 via the K by Valentini. Maybe that would be the spark plug. Yeah, so this team, these freshmen, say 19 players that have 2+ years remaining, have very little to no playoff experience whatsoever. I've never been in a playoff game. And after ground ball to Vettelino, she fields it cleanly, gets to the first base, and that'll end the inning for the Bulldogs. Not too much harm done, but some harm done. A little rusty coming out, a little nerved, shake them off. 2 runs, that's not that bad. It could have been more. It could have been worse. We're halfway through the first. The Lions came out roaring, folks. No doubt about it. But you got to remember, folks, this team has played in playoff games before. 10 of them have. 12 out of the 14 have played in the playoffs on the team that you are facing right now, and our team has not. So what a job that they've done, and let's see how they do responding, because we don't know that either. We don't know the buoyancy of this squad in the playoffs. Trailing 2-0, you don't know whether there's any intimidation factor or anything going forward. But what I wanted to also get into, since we have some time early on, this entire complex as a whole has done just phenomenally. The baseball team won their division, 17-1 regular season division record. I believe they were 20-3 overall, just an unbelievable season. And the combined teams, this complex, the 2 teams, have 4 Athlete of the Week award winners. And I read through them. And these Athlete of the Week award winners, the weeks they got awarded it, they moved on to have even better games. I will mention them now early on, like early in the first week of the season, I believe. Sophia Valentini, of course. She could have been the award winner like 6 different times. But she was the first award winner through about 2 weeks of the season for the Bulldogs. And then it moved on to what an emotional game. That's why this season has been so fulfilling. And this is a huge part of it. And that's what Alina Fazaro, what an emotional base-clearing triple she hit against Charahoe. We were there for that game under the lights to break an 18-game losing streak. That's just some of the highlights we've had an opportunity to see, and this team has brought for us. And it's been just such a pleasure to bring this production forward to you guys, to our viewers, because they have this youth of this team has brought to us so much excitement, ending that 18-game losing streak. And then you got on the other side, you have the pitcher in Dean Pound Jr. He's headed committed to Rick. He's on his way, and boy, is he going to be an asset to Rick moving forward. We have had the opportunity to see him, I think, 5 times this year, 5-0 in those games. I don't have his season totals with you. I will on Thursday or Friday. Their opponent is playing right now. It's going to be either Mount St. Charles or Tiverton. If Mount St. Charles wins, we're going to have some Thursday night baseball action here at Similori Field. If Tiverton wins, we're going to have some Friday night baseball action. And folks, I'll tell you more about that going forward. We're back to softball. Here we go. Bottom of the first. How do the Bulldogs respond? Alex Storr, shortstop, sophomore, leads off for the Bulldogs, number 36. First pitch. And it comes in hard, up and in. Okay, so she's got some heat, and that's what the coach must have meant by overbearing. Number 20 pitching, Lime Torres, sophomore for the Lions, came in with some pop on the first pitch. Ball 1-0. And definitely gets some heat behind it. That one gets past the catcher, 2-0. And this is what I was told. The Lions kind of win and lose, and they kind of, their ship goes on the back of the pitcher, who's young, and it can go either way. At any point in the game, she can be overpowering, and sometimes apparently she can also go the other way on her. Let's see how she opens things up here. 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Fastball is definitely earning its name as fast. Definitely gets over the plate with some pop. Storr not that far behind it, went right at it. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty flat. Haven't seen movement on any pitch. 2-1 the count here. And that's up and in. You got her to go. That was a ball, I do believe, but 2-2 the count. And again, that's 4 pitches, 4 fastballs. That must be the scouting report. I'm sure there is one. That's pretty much the one I got. Overpowering possibility. Accuracy can be an issue. 2-2 count. And gets her to go the other way with a nice job. I don't know if that was late or going the other way. Either way, she's still alive. 2-2. Fouls it off, sprayed it to the right side. This production brought to you in part by the Knickerbocker Music Center Live, Valenti Subaru, Wireless Zone, Strategia. And the 2-2 pitch. Yeah, it's upstairs and past the catcher. Okay, so we've seen that. Let's see if we take note of that and see if that matters later. 2 pitches have gotten past the catcher. A good at bat to open things up by Alex Storr, working the count to 3-2, fouling 1 out of play. So this is pitch number 7 of the leadoff job. Pitcher calling timeout. Wants a new ball, telling her coach. I don't know why the coach comes back here. New ball in. We're going to get going again, though. But nice at bat to lead off by Storr. 7 pitches so far. This is pitch number 8. We've seen 8 fastballs, and we've seen 2 of them get completely past the catcher. And the Bulldogs are very good base runners. They're very aggressive. They just got to get their way to the base. So let's see how things go. We're still at the leadoff hitter, and they've made the pitcher work. The payoff pitch. Yet doesn't get her to chase. Ball 4. Great at bat by the sophomore Alex Storr. Leadoff runner on, and that's another thing you're going to see out of this team. That no fear attitude. They're too young to fear anything. They have no problem coming back, and we've seen it. We've seen 5 runs. We've seen 6 runs. They've shown us a lot this season. It's been an exciting year. And the vocal dugout, boy, are they going crazy right now. Squares the bunt. The bunt laid down beautifully. Pitcher gets it, no one covering first. Nice job by the Bulldogs, and they get the Lions in a mistake. The second baseman was supposed to rotate over to first. Shortstop rotates to second. There was a little communication error. The Bulldogs will absolutely benefit by it. But what a job by number 23 for the Bulldogs. Dina Arnold, the catcher, the captain with power. Squares to bunt. They can do it all, folks. This squad, they've shown us all year long. So the Bulldogs come back from a 2-run inning on defense. They have the leadoff 2 on with nobody out. Number 3 hitter up for the Bulldogs, the pitcher. Sophia Valentini, numbers-wise, top hitter the Bulldogs have. Knows what to do with the bat. So much excitement coming from our left, and the fans have filled in, folks. They're 7, 8, 9, 10 deep. And up and away, good eye by the Bulldogs. The scouting report is make her throw strikes. I got it now. She got ahead of the first batter, and now it's been a little bit of an issue. And you got to remember those 2 that got by. If that becomes an issue throughout the game, the Bulldogs have the baseball IQ. The coaches instill that in them, and that's why freshmen and sophomores can succeed, because it starts with the IQ of the game, softball IQ, I should say. Not that it doesn't differ very much, but the umpire cleaning home plate here. And the batter ahead, 2-1. 2 Bulldogs on, nobody out. Bottom of the first inning, folks. If you're just joining us, Westerly.live, Westerly.radio. We'll bring you the action tonight, not just the action. First playoff action of the spring. And swing and a miss, a little bit late. Valentini on the 2-1 pitch brings it to 2-2. So we are touching the first playoff action, like I said. And from here, the Lady Bulldogs hit the road. So to see them live, you're going to have to drive, or you're going to have to watch us, folks. Today is your chance to watch the playoff action for the Lady Bulldogs. They're going to head to Tollgate if they win. Count remains 2-2. Fighting back is Valentine. And the 2-2 offering. Swing and a miss, up and in. Nice pitch, nice location. Frustrated by the pitcher. She's got to bounce back. She is the pitcher. It's tough, but you got to kind of erase that, get that out of your head if you're a pitcher, and move forward. Emma Caracciolo at bat. And I've seen her put this thing out of the yard before off the fence. She can put it deep to right. She knows how to use the whole plate. I do not believe you're going to beat her with a straight fastball. And I think there's an array of pitch batters that the Bulldogs are going to adjust to. I think maybe they just got to get through the order a little bit. Only 1 out, 2 Bulldog runners. And they have the corners in, definitely respecting the bunt possibility. I don't see that as the case. She's going to square. And she bunts, perfect bunt. Back to the pitcher. They do have a coverage, though, and they get the out at first. But a sacrifice bunt puts the tying runs in scoring position. Alex Storr at second, Dina Arnold. Alex Storr at third, correction. And the runner in for Dina Arnold at second. Lily Vettalino at bat for the Bulldogs. Runners at second and third, down 2-0, 2 outs. Swing, pitch straight down the middle for strike 1. Like I said, all we've seen is fastballs. And when that's the case, sometimes you will lose an inning. You lose the whole way through the rotation just to get the timing down. But a lot of times you do. It's hard to win a game with a straight fastball. You can win a few innings, but this team's a buzzsaw. I had a feeling in warm-ups, like I said, we were talking, and we were watching them, and they were fundamental. They were fundamental all the way through defensively, and now I'm watching them swing the bats as well. So we have a tough battle on our hands. But, man, what an exciting night here of softball. Swing and a miss, and that's going to be the second out of the – no, that's going to end the inning for the Bulldogs. And after one inning of play, the Lincoln Lions 2 and the Bulldogs 0. So hopefully the Bulldogs got through a little bit of their nerves. They were a little bit rattled there in the first inning defensively. Offensively, they showed that they got on base. They got a few base runners. So that's not a bad thing. They got a first look at the pitcher, Torres from the Lions. From what I've seen, here's the deal. She throws a fastball, and it can get fast. Her location is her issue, so you have to have plate discipline against a pitcher like this. You got to make her throw those fastballs. Is bottom line, and you got to be able to go the other way with it. So the majority of our right-handed hitters have to have the ability to use right field, and they do. We've seen them do that all year long, and those are the fundamentals that have brought this team to the playoffs. Valentini just wants to bounce back now from the top of the first. That's the toughest thing for a pitcher to do is get that first inning at bat, not have it go your way, and then get back on the field. 90-degree heat. You just gave up 2 runs. There were a few errors involved in those runs. I don't know how they go in the books. It's irrelevant tonight, numbers. It's hard to erase numbers. I'm trying to stay away from them, but the bottom line, the only numbers that matter is the team that has the highest score at the end of the game. They move on, and the other team heads home for the year. Like I said prior to the game, if the Bulldogs do come up on the losing end of this game, what a successful season. A thank you from Westerly.live to the fans, coaches, everybody, players especially. What a great season. What an entertaining season. And if they hit the road, good luck to them going forward. Action is going to be across the complex after tonight, and it's going to be either Thursday or Friday. There's some action going on right now in baseball world here in Rhode Island. In Division II, Mount St. Charles is playing Tiverton. And if Mount St. Charles wins that one, it's going to be Thursday night here at 6 p.m. under the lights at Similar Field Baseball. And if Tiverton wins, it's going to be some Friday night baseball action. And that will be win or go home as well. First pitch, top of the second, a running bunt. Try to push bunt for a base hit. Foul. 0-1 the count. And the third baseman, Austin, number 19 for the Bulldogs, was ready. As a lefty, you can often drag as well. And she's going to swing and try to drag, and it goes foul. So she tried to go one way, and then she tried to go the other, didn't do it. Now you're stuck. You're 0-2. You got to try to get the ball fair here. Again, fundamental that I'm seeing missing, I've seen all season long, is you got to be up in the box. At least one of those attempts, and that's a swing foul, so she stays up 0-2, and she's alive. Is if you're up in on the box when you lay down the bunt, if it goes straight down, it's fair. If you're back in the box and she's drawing a line for herself, I don't know what that means, but regardless. But if you're back in the box and you drop the ball on a bunt straight down, it's a foul ball. So that's one of the earlier coaching moves, and she's behind it. She's trying to place the ball. Definitely trying to go the other way with it, spray it out there, just kind of waving at it. The count remains 0-2. Ahead early, Valentini. That's inside, and she goes running, but takes the ball, 1-2 the count. Definitely doesn't get her feet set in the box. This is number 3, Catherine Heen, a senior, so she's comfortable in her approach. Running style hit. I've seen it in softball in the past. Generally doesn't produce nearly as many foul balls. You're actually running into fair territory, but she's fighting here. And the count 1-2 with about 4 sprayed foul. And gets her to go and sprays it. And that is caught in the air by Vedolino. So 1 up, 1 down for the Bulldogs. They need a 1-2-3 inning. Just emotionally to get a little boost here. There's a lot of fans, and it doesn't take much to get them excited, folks. I promised you that I'm excited. I know that. I've been waiting for this game. We had a layoff. I had things printed out early. I hit the internet today. I just couldn't wait to see this team one last time this year. They've brought such joy and excitement to the fans, to everybody around here, and been such a great squad this season and such excitement going forward. Man, does this candle burn bright for the Bulldogs as they move forward and 22 returning. That's crazy. 19 of them for another year after that. And the pitch. 1-0 to start. Swing, foul, sprays it to the right. 1-1, even up count. Nobody on, 1 out, top of the second inning. The Lions were able to come out roaring here off the bus in the top of the first. Earned their 2 runs in somewhat. The hits were clean, but just a few unclean handling of the hits. Simple bobbling, move their bases forward, and that one off the handles. That looks like it's going to be sprayed foul into that no-man's zone, and it's a good thing it was foul. Good pitch by Valentini to change the buzzsaw off the handles there. Number 10 at bat for the Lions, Kelsey Smith, a junior. Lions balance 4 seniors, 4 sophomores, 4 freshmen, 2 juniors. And they get to the swing and a miss on that drop ball, a beauty. And throw to first just to assure it, and it is a strikeout number 2. Strikeout number 1 of the inning, but of the game, number 2. And Valentini seems to be feeling a little more comfortable. And that's a great job bouncing back. A sophomore able to do that in the playoffs. And this is the first time for her, for certain, that she's been at the helm in the playoffs, in charge on the rubber, or as a sophomore. Man, that's just a great opportunity to have that experience as a sophomore. Some teams only make the playoffs one time in their career. This team, forget about it. I think you're going to see 3 years of playoffs out of this team, and they're going to be on the back of Valentini, 2 on the back of Valentini to Arnold. And next year is going to be their 3rd year together, working together. They're already one hell of a duo to battle with. And the pitch sprayed to the left. So this team definitely has the ability to go the other way. I'm seeing it out of every batter. I really am. I mean, I know they're not trying to expose our left fielder. Ava Tenuta is a absolutely solid, not only left fielder, but a captain as a junior. So it just seems as their approach is just, it's a different. It's a step-out swing. Number 22 at bat for the Lions, Emma Sucha, the catcher, a sophomore. And bat down in the count, 0-2. So Valentina's been ahead of the batter all 3 batters this inning. So that wasn't the case in the first inning. We are at the bottom of the order here in the top of the second. Doesn't get her to go upstairs. Good idea. Nice pitch. 1-2 the count by Valentini. Bulldogs ready to hit the dugout on a quick inning. If Valentini can put this one in the right spot. And swing in. That one's up and away. Foul. So this complex as a whole, what a successful year. I don't know about the home team records or whatever it may be, but one squad 14-4, one squad 20-3, man, 34-7. That ain't bad. Coming from one complex and 2 teams, and both of those teams returning so many players. I'm so excited moving forward. Wesley Sports as a whole. The volleyball team, they made the playoffs, folks. Don't forget about them. They earned a bye some way, which way or not. Their playoffs start next week, I believe. We'll give you more info. Just log on. The info comes from there because it's a little chaotic in the playoffs. Everything's fluid. Everything's in motion. And the ladies Bulldogs are starting to get in a little bit better motion here. They count back to 2-2, 2 outs, nobody on. In the second inning, takes it, so it's going to be a full count. And Valentini definitely doesn't want to give up any waste runners here, especially in the bottom of the order, especially with 2 outs, nobody on. Really going to go after the batter here with this pitch, I do believe, and she does. Fouls, just gets by Austin. She lost it. Glove comes off. Fortunately, she didn't get hit by it, I believe. That's a fair ball. And that's going to be a single. And it hit her glove or something. She's rubbing on her face a little bit. I think that just surprised her. Got to her quickly. So a 2-out, 2-strike, full count single. Nice at bat by the catcher for the Lions, and they're alive. Number 5 hits first base, Blanchett, a freshman. And a righty in the box here with 2 outs as the Lions see if they can start something here in the top of the second inning. As shades encompassing about half the field now. You're going to see it creep in from left to right, and maybe that was part of the issue. That ball did go from sun to shade quickly. And at bat, we have, I do believe that's a number 8. That's it, number 6. At bat, that's Alexia Noel, a senior. She's an outfielder for the Lions. And playing in is Caracciolo at the corner. Swinging a nice drop on that pitch. Valentini, when that thing's working, man, that with her fastball. She's got so many weapons in reality when she's in a groove. Watch out. And again, I will emphasize all night long, sophomore. About all of these players. And steal second, throw late, but on the spot. And good base running by the Lions. Gets the runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Gives them a chance here. A single may score a run, something to the right side possibly. And right fielder and left fielder playing a little bit deep on this squad. Obviously, they have the scouting report. Maya Anderson does a great job in center, covers a lot of territory, only a sophomore. And sprays that one straight back. And a lot of them, I say them, the outfielders when the play's live, but all 3 of them have done such a great job all year long as well. Tonight, like I said, there was that little rust in the first inning, fully expected. And the breaking ball, just a little bit high, takes it for a ball. And I think like that was the senior effect coming in off the bus from the Lions. The seniors and juniors, that this is their 3rd playoff appearance, 4th for some. Swing, popped up, second base. Vedolino tracking it, storing, and Vedolino will vacuum it up. End of the inning, and a nice bounce back inning for the Bulldogs. So a rough start at the top of the first, but they vacuum up 1-2. Well, 4 batters saw the play in the top of the second inning, but we're 1.5 through, and the Lions 2, Bulldogs ready to get their second at-bat here in the bottom of the second inning. This production brought to you in part by Remy Cycles, bicycle sales and service in downtown Westerly, 53 Railroad Ave. Cycling accessories, the latest in electric bike technology, stellar customer service, everything needed to enjoy your cycling adventures. Teddy's Toys, also located in downtown Westerly, 53 Railroad Ave. Modern toys, classic toys, board games, model building, stuffed animals, and McQuaid's Ace Hardware, your local family-owned hardware store located on Franklin Street in Westerly, RI. Summer lawn maintenance tools and outdoor furniture. If they don't sell, folks, you don't need it. The Knickerbocker Music Center live. Watch local bands live from the Nick in downtown Westerly, RI. Go to westerly.live for more details. A premium streaming service brought to you by the Knickerbocker Music Center, Westerly Live, and 321 Media. Valenti Subaru sales and service located at Dunn's Corners, Westerly, RI. Valenti means value. With over 90 years in the auto business, the Valenti family knows how to keep customers happy. Service with honesty, integrity, and a smile are the cornerstones our business is built upon. Wireless Zone, your Verizon authorized retailer located in Dunn's Corners next to Duncan. Cell phone sales, service, and repair. Certidia, social media management, search engine optimization, local company with local strategies to help your company stand out on the web. That is Stratidia. And we're ready to get started here. Perfect timing, bottom of the second inning. Bulldogs down 2 runs from the top of that first inning. That 2 isn't bad to see with such a young team in playoffs for their first opportunity, the majority of them against such a more balanced team, a team that's had more playoff chance, with a pitcher that is definitely overpowering and intimidating. That speed and that lack of accuracy is a weapon as well. So the Bulldogs are getting their first exposure to it, and that was a hard-thrown fastball taken for a ball inside. Kaylee Lamb, the junior, number 5 for the Bulldogs, leading off here. The righty with a 1-0 count. Corners in. And upstairs it in, gets her to go. 1-1 the count. One of the harder pitches we've seen throw here, at least personally, that I can attest for. And that was exactly the report I got prior to the game. It couldn't have been more accurate. And that one jumped a little bit to the inside. Good eye by Lamb. And like I said, I spoke with a couple coaches, a couple different people, and the scouting report was if she's in a groove, meaning number 20, Torres, she's only a sophomore. Watch out because she can be very overpowering. And that's what we're seeing at the moment here, the check swing. The speed sometimes can be intimidating. It can, and it can force a swing at an errant pitch, and we've seen 2 of them here. Count is 1 and 2, and I'm not sure that we've seen a strike just yet. So the 1-2 offering, and that's going to be low and in. And that brings the count to 3-2 full. On deck is Tenuta, the junior left fielder. Little problem at the top of the first. Done well since then. Done well all season long. I guess I would say she would be the captain of the outfield, and that's a good eye by Lamb. Good job working the count all the way to full, doing your job as a leadoff batter, reaching first base. When you do bring the numbers in, which I promised myself I wouldn't too much, but leadoff walks generate runs more often than they don't. Statistically, the numbers just jump off the boards. Let's see if the Lady Bulldogs can capitalize on that. And at bat, Fazaro for the Bulldogs. And that is a pitch that I talked about early on in the game, gets by the catcher. So now the Bulldogs suddenly, with a runner in scoring position and nobody out, they only trail 2-0. And number 25 at bat for the Bulldogs, Elena Fazaro. We've seen her do it before. Her hit, I don't want to say it was only her hit because it took base runs, it took 7 innings. But that hit emotionally, man, did it end that 18-game Charahoe winning streak? Not solely, but it had a huge part of it. And the pitcher up and away, another one past the catcher. So right there, Kaylee Lamb. That's how important her job at bat, earning that walk. Having that softball IQ, that was a great at bat, earning that walk. Coming back, she was down in the count. She stood firm with a fastball pitcher that can be intimidating. Stood up there, earned a walk, and those pitches that got by the catcher on warm-ups, we're starting to see them now, and the Bulldogs are capitalizing. Another one on the inside porch. Having a tough time here, are we? And the Bulldogs are going to wait and make you throw some strikes if you do. They're smart enough to do that, so the Bulldogs suddenly can cut the score in half, runner on third base, nobody out. Elena Fazaro ahead in the count 3-0. And that one's on the inside portion. Yes. Gets the call. I'll take that. Not a bad pitch. And you had to make her throw a strike. Absolutely no option. So now Cesaro ready to roll here. 3-1. Still got to be your pitch. And how she has to strung too many together, and that was a nice pitch. Over the outside portion, just misses it. So we work count back to full. I say we. I guess I'm speaking third person for Torres this time. But no, Cesaro's got a full count pitch here. Runner on third. You want to put it in play. That's all you really, really, really want to do. Somewhere up the middle would be lovely swing and a miss. So they get the out they were looking for via their strikeout, not in play anywhere. Worst case scenario is a pop strikeout, especially here. Bulldogs got a runner at third with 1 out, and the third baseman, Austin, who had an issue with the sunshade move. She was right in the only spot really on the infield anyway that does develop, and she squares early to bunt. Pulls back. Slash. Nice job digging by the catcher of the Lions, saved the run. And Coach making sure that the secondary is far enough down the line that Lamb will score on any kind of a dribbler past the catcher. Anything loose back there. Cut this lead in half, squares the bunt again early. But will she pull it back? Yes. Ball on low and inside. When you're a third baseman and a first baseman, you can't commit to the bunt if you're doing that. It's called a slash. You square early, you make them think bunt, 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 bunt. Even though they almost know you're pulling back, you're going to hit them in the chin or in the face or something if you don't move back. So as you see, they're creeping, and they're going to stop, they pull back, and swing and a miss. So now that is going to be 2 strikes, and you got a battle normal here. No, count goes 2-1, correction. First strike of the at-bat. I think they know by now personally because there's been 3 offerings, and she's going to do it again. You can only do it so many times in a row, slash upstairs, swing and a miss. Now you got to be on your game to really complete a slash because you're giving yourself less time to make the decision as to whether to swing when you pull the bat back. Once you offer it forward here, when you pull it back is really when the bat starts, and the pitch is halfway through, late on the fastball. Bad idea. I don't know. Austin succumbs to strikeout, and the Bulldogs now, they may leave this runner hanging here. Unfortunately, runner only 60 feet away with nobody out. Now they have 2 outs. Number 22, nobody better. Ava Tenuta, the outfield leader, the junior, in left field. Straight over the plate for a hard-throwing fastball, but it does come in straight. So if you get your timing down here, you can put it in play. And you know what they say. I mean, what comes in hard goes out hard. And again, the slash. Here we go. And she was like leaving it there, and now they're down 0-2. So a lot of finicky business at bat here, putting the percentages against the Bulldogs, as now the Lincoln Lions can just back up. 0-2, quickly down, 2 outs. Runner dangling on the duck on the pond, they would say swing and a miss, and the Lions get out of it. Bulldogs started with a leadoff walk, got her to second with no outs, got her to third with no outs, and unfortunately left her at third, 3 straight outs via the strikeout. And that's an unfortunate little letdown, little bump in the road, but these are all learning experiences, folks. This entire game is a learning experience for these Bulldogs. That's why I had a prelude to the game. And if you're just joining us, folks, I am the voice, Greg Morano, alongside producer, owner, Shane Belanger. We have Lisa behind the lens. We are Westerly.live, Westerly.radio, and we are bringing you playoff action. You want to know why? Because the Westerly ladies fast pitch softball team earned playoff action this season with a 14-4 overall record. What a season they had, and I just can't. There's no adjectives that can explain to you. They have given us so much. They've given us bottom of the 7th comebacks, extra inning victories, slow methodical comebacks, home runs, balls off the fence, thrown out plays at the plate to Dina Arnold. They have given us every bit of action and excitement you can offer, and they've done it all without a senior on the field. 3 junior leaders, and the rest sophomore and freshman. 19 players got 2+ years coming back. 22 are coming back for next year. The fire burns so bright for this Westerly, especially the whole spring season has been unbelievable. This squad especially. And here we go, top of the 3rd inning. Bulldogs first pitch, straight back to Valentine. She handles it. Couldn't go any better than that. I was just about to say the Bulldogs emotionally now are let down a little bit because they had a real opportunity there. But you gotta realize this entire game is a coaching experience for this team. They don't have that senior on the field to coach for them, and they haven't all year long. And kudos to the coaches as well. And like I said, this Lions team's been on the button, except we've seen it in pregame, and we've seen it during the game. And unfortunately, we didn't make him pay, and that is the catcher is fallible a little bit. a little bit more than Dean Arnold. We saw her reach for that one, as letting the ball go by her, letting it trickle around a little bit, whereas Arnold, who's tough to get one by her. And she's got another year coming back. She's an absolute brick wall, and she's the leader of the team in reality, especially the offense, especially the infield. And when you can have that leadership come from your catcher, that's where it's supposed to come. That helps the pitcher so much, especially when you have a pitcher a year younger than you. It's all just working in motion for the Bulldogs just to grow and just be a monster. If they're a buzzsaw this year, they're going to be a monster next year, and then who knows from there on. And I'm not going to go that far in the future. But all I know is that they've been one fun team to watch this year, and we got a long game ahead of us. And like I said, they don't get down on themselves. And that's the beauty of this. That's why I've been excited about this for 4 days. Wait, what team are they playing? Who are they playing? When are they playing? And finally, you get the announcement. You get so excited. I can't imagine the excitement that they're in. I can, because I remember. And you kind of play your youth through them. And a ground ball hard hit to third and short. Turned on a nice hit by the Lions. So a 1-out single, 3-2 single. Nice pitch by Valentini. Got a little bit too much of the plate. And the pitcher up to bat for the Lions, that's number 20, Torres, a sophomore. And she's got power behind, she's got pop behind that pitch, one of the faster pitchers we've seen all season. The only thing I see is the lack of anything else. And I'm really kind of almost waiting for the Bulldogs almost to time that down, if they're able to, because she may be the hardest thrower. I don't know, Mount Hope possibly. But either way, that Mount Hope pitcher has some success too. So that could be a problem going forward if I'm comparing the two. Mount Hope has the fake throw down to first, gets her to dive. And Mount Hope pitcher had a lot of different options. All I'm seeing here out of this sophomore, Mount Hope also has the sophomore, and we have the sophomore, is a hard-throwing fastball. Valentini offers a variety of pitches. Nice job going the other way with it tracked over the head of the right fielder for the Bulldogs. Fazaro can't get there. The relay throw is going to be a stand-up triple, and that's going to pocket the run for the Lions, and the throw gets back. Austin gets past Austin at third, so into third with a triple and an RBI for the Lions. So a 1-out base clearing triple for the pitcher helps her own cause. Lime Torres, the sophomore. So the Bulldogs not the only team with a sophomore pitcher. The Lions as well. But they are roaring and they add to their lead, put a runner on third, 1 out. And like I said, the nerves can become a factor. And they square the bunt, they pull back high, and Dina Arnold has a throw on it. You got to be careful when you're dealing with her behind the plate because she's got a cannon and she knows when to throw and where to throw. Nerves, nerves, nerves. First exposure to playoffs, folks. They're a completely different monster. And square, the quarter's coming. Nice bunt. And they got it before she went home and makes the tag. What's the call by the umpire? Foul ball is the call. I don't know. We'll see it on the replay. As they lay it down, it was close, and she let it go foul. I mean, if you're a Bulldog, you wanted her to let it go foul. I thought she picked that up a little early and made it too close for comfort. But fortunately for the Bulldogs, the call was foul. Because that was almost a perfect bunt. And that was like a safety squeeze, they call it. It's not a sacrifice because you can't steal home. Safety means you kind of go halfway, run down area, and you're going to get safely in on the bunt. And there she goes. The bunt goes foul, no good. So the Lions unable to easily pocket this second run here. They're working on it. And the count is 1-2 now. So Valentini ahead in the count. So like I said, if you followed us all year long, thank you for following the ladies softball team, first of all. But like I said, you've seen everything. And swing and a miss. Nice job by Valentini for the out. No worries, no nerves. There's ice in her veins. It's only 3-0, folks. It's only the top of the third inning. We're not even halfway through this puppy. But this game could go any which way. It really could. We knew going in, so did the coach, so does everybody. The long haul of the season, and a throw down to third, and you got her moving there. But the long haul of the season is really, really where you see how impressive these players really are, and how much we have to look forward to in the future. And off a home plate, it's spinning in. She doesn't look at home and gets a throw out at first, but someone scores her. Oh, no, that's going to end the inning. Wisely played at first base. Coach is frustrated standing in the third base coach's box with how that inning ended. But he did add a run, the Lions coach, that is, as he delayed his way from third inning. But Regardless, the score after 2.5 innings of play, the Lions 3 and the Bulldogs ready to bat here in the bottom of the third. This game not going any which shocking way in my mind whatsoever. Like I said, I had a chance to talk to the coaching staff, talk to a lot of different people that even follow them on the road a little even more in depth than we did. But I'm telling you, folks, I studied them, and I have articles on the past with me on the past 6 games they've played. I could get into them, and maybe I will as the game goes on, because you know what's amazing is that in the headlines of all the games, you have some names that repeat themselves often, but you have so many contributors to this season and to their record in the long haul of the season that have been put in the Westerly Sun, or that have been put online, that have been highlighted on the season. So many different contributors, some freshmen, some sophomores, and then definitely, obviously, the juniors, man, to bring this team to where it is. And take away the 3, and nobody's really, personally, the bottom line is my judgment and my opinion of this team has made prior to this game, regardless of how this game turns out. I don't care if the Bulldogs come back and win by 15 runs. It's not going to change I think where they're at, and it's just beyond impressive. And where they're at is the top of the order. So that's exciting, too, because it's the bottom of the third, and now every Bulldog has seen the speed of Torres for the Lions. So now we'll Store for the Bulldogs, the starting shortstop, adjust. First pitch swinging, it's a fastball. She does throw a drop ball. I shouldn't say she only throws a fastball, Torres. She does throw a drop ball that drops in and low on the righty hitters. Doesn't drop a lot, but it does drop. And when you're throwing that much speed, you don't need it to drop that much. Again, she doesn't throw a lot in a row right over the plate, or hasn't. And the pitch that stays upstairs. A little bit of movement. I think she was trying to throw a little bit of hook. Definitely off speed on that one. 2-1 the count. Number 36, Store. Multi-sport athlete. Great athlete. Bulldogs have a lot of that. A lot of them great athletes. And the pitch inside gets off her hands. And the count goes to 1-2. Nobody out here. Bottom third, 3-0 score here as the Lincoln Lions are in town here. As we are in, I don't know what you want to call them, the single elimination way to get into a double elimination tournament. Seems to be what we call it. The winner moves on to Tollgate. And that stays upstairs. Good eye by Story. Even things up at 2. And the losers put a cap on the 22 campaign. And one way or the other, I do believe there'll be a celebration here in Westerly. Things we'll talk about on Thursday or Friday are a little different. Every team that we're going to speak of, as I said, are going to be a little different. Across the complex, ideals are a little bit different. They're not a senior list team. They're an evenly balanced squad across the board, and their ideas and their goals are different, and as are the volleyball teams. They're not senior list, and another one gets past them, no Bulldog base runners, but a great leadoff at bat by the leadoff hitter who does her job as a leadoff hitter and makes the pitcher throw a lot of pitches in the process as she gets on for the Bulldogs. So these Bulldogs seem unnerved. They don't seem like there's much of an issue whatsoever here. They're standing in. I saw that in that at bat, and like I said, this is their second time through. Let's see how they do in the first at bat. Great job. And the catcher, Dina Arnold, the leader, pulls back on it and steals second, and she is in. So the Bulldogs again with a leadoff runner, a duck on the pond in scoring position. The fans jump in. They've had a couple opportunities too, and they've been here all season long. Just impressive how many fans flock in. They surround the baseball field. And in Federico Gymnasium, we have a volleyball squad in the by, and they have their own following in. Pulls back on it. That's a ball. Steals third with no throw. And I said the Bulldogs had aggressive base running, but man, that was really aggressive. And as they squared the bunt, they pulled the third baseman, and the shortstop didn't rotate quick enough. That was definitely observation. That's why the numbers come in. That's why it's like a game of chess. You got to look 2 moves ahead. Coach Luppy did. He knew that was going to be a standing steal. Squares the bunt in the air. Don't catch it in the air, and she did. Last thing you want to have happen for the Bulldogs. Murphy's Law, right? And you want it just to hit the ground, make him force a play, but it doesn't. And here we go. 1 out, runner on third, duck on the pond, fly out, we'll score him. Any grounder that may be short or second, we'll put it in. Spray it to right, anywhere definitely will do it. Sophie Valentini looking to help her own effort and cut into the 3. 0-0 count. First offering swings up, no, doesn't swing, excuse me. Upstairs for a ball. 1-0 count to Valentini. Bulldogs second time through. I can't repeat it enough. We'll see if they can make the adjustment. And that's upstairs. And there really wasn't that many adjustments to make, other than maybe they wasted a few swings, maybe on balls. They weren't really all that far behind this power pitcher of the Bulldogs. When I say they really weren't. So I do believe you're going to see a lot more base runners. This game's far from over. Swing and a miss there on that one. So 2-1 the count, still ahead. Valentini at times may appear frustrated, but man, the buoyancy and the bounce back ability of this young lady is just phenomenal. And strays one foul, even things up at 2. And that goes as far as on the rubber. If she gives up a hit or something goes haywire on the field, that's out of her control because pitchers have to deal with that as well. They have to trust their fielders, and at times some things don't go right. And when things don't go right when you're at bat, as a pitcher, you have to erase it faster than any other player. And man, that's up and in, and hope she's okay, down she goes. And that's a hit batter. You don't want to see it, and she is shaking up for the moment. They're going to check on her here at home plate. And you never want to see this, especially a pitcher, especially a player stay down. She was hit hard, and a lot of mileage on this pitcher. She's one of the faster pitchers thrown all season. And again, Murphy's Law's happened a couple times tonight to the Bulldogs, as not only anyone but their pitcher struck. I mean, completely unintentional. Coaches know that. They just signal to them as they feel bad. You can tell the Lions. And that's a beautiful thing to see. And a huge round of applause that she comes out running to first. And the pitcher for the Lions, credit to her. I saw that entire Lions team did not want to see the Westerly pitcher go down. And I love to see that. And a team like that's always welcome to Westerly. I'll tell you that right now. That was something nice to see. We've seen that all year long. It's been fantastic because we have a team with good sportsmanship. But they got that edge. And they're going to do something. I'm telling you, they're going to make noise. They've made all the noise they've needed to make this year, man. They've impacted the playoffs on several teams' seasons already. So I'm just talking moving forward. So Valentini on first, Austin on third, and Teal second. The pinch runner for the Bulldogs is number 14, Brooke Power, and the pitcher and catcher get a pinch runner. So the Bulldogs, 1 out, 2 runners on. In scoring position, Emma Caracciolo, and no one better at the dish. Want to know the count? She's popped 1 out of the yard at home, popped 1 out of the yard on the road, and she gets the kind of hitter who can square a bunt, and she puts it down. Suicide squeeze, she's in. She's safe. Safe everywhere. What a call, Coach Luppy. What a job, Emma Caracciolo. I'm talking about how she can pop it out of the yard at home. She can pop it out of the yard, out of the park. What's she do? She lays down the perfect suicide squeeze and breaks it open so the Bulldogs are on the board. And they are not only on the board, they are on the board in style. One hell of a jump, Emma Caracciolo. Man, was that a perfectly placed suicide squeeze. And that's called a suicide squeeze because it's suicide for the runner. If you don't lay it down, are they going to do it again? No, they pull back. Caracciolo to second, and the Bulldogs in business. The tying run, Caracciolo at second base. The 2 runners on in scoring position, 1 out. Let's go at 3-1. Man, enough credit. That's what I mean. So many contributors all season long for this Bulldog team. She's a sophomore, Caracciolo, and she can do it all. Squares the bunt. Vedolino comes straight back, fouls it. Vedolino went back. There's so many multi-weapon athletes on this Bulldog squad. Man, does this candle burn bright. I can't, there's no adjectives. I'm surprised I didn't stutter when she did it because I'm talking about the power behind her and the ability and the pressure behind the suicide squeeze, and she's a sophomore. First playoff opportunity. And coming home on the pass. Whoa, the slide. She's safe. She got under it. What a slide by number 14, Brooke Power. And the crowd is in it. The coaches are in it. They are fired up. And we are here. The team has arrived. The score is 3-2. Caracciolo's the tying run at third. Only 1 out. Nice job at bat by Vedolino allowing all this to happen because that's part of it, folks. And I mentioned in pregame that ball getting passed. And that right there goes to Brooke Power. She's a freshman, folks. What a slide. That slide wasn't a slide of a freshman. That was a well-coached freshman right there that listened to her coaches because she had to slide around that tag to the inside, to the field side of home plate. She did it. What a great job by the Bulldogs base running in general and how to lay it down. Emma Caracciolo, that's just unbelievable. Talk about a full circle hitter. She can pop it to the light stands and she can drop it down under all pressure with a runner stealing home. That is full circle as a sophomore. Vedolino, the pitch. Check swing. She holds it upstairs. Good job. Talk about coming full circle as a batter only as a sophomore. I'll move forward. The Bulldogs 3-2. And we have a little bit of a timeout here. The left side of this complex, they can get loud and they can get intimidated. And the left side being the Bulldog side. And the scouting report I received on this picture was that it can go one way or the other, and it can also change throughout a game. And I can relate to that because personally, she's way more accurate than I ever would be. But I was wild as heck when I threw the ball anywhere. But sometimes I could throw. I don't know what the difference was. Apparently, that's the scouting report here. She came out her first time through the order, and she was knocking down the Bulldogs' order, but I don't think every single pitch was a strike. I think the speed kind of was a little bit intimidating first time through in the playoffs, and now the Bulldogs are really making her throw. Even on the Bulldogs' outs, her pitch counts up, forcing her to try other pitches that she really doesn't have control of yet. Here we go, Vedolino, 2-2 count. And right back up the middle, she catches the runner at third, and she's not going to get to first. That's a single for Vedolino. What a job by the Bulldogs, another base runner. Bulldogs have one down, and hey, that's the lead runner at first. She did the job, and you know Emma Caracciolo did the job for Vedolino to give her the hit. So we've seen her hit home runs. We've seen her do suicide squeezes. And now we know she's a great base runner. She caught the attention of the pitcher. The pitcher had to look her back, but she had the perfect amount of lead to keep her looking. She couldn't look away. By the time she did, Vedolino's speed had her at first. Another great job by Caracciolo. Lamb squares, pulls back, steals second. 2 runners in scoring position, just like that for the Bulldogs. Bing, bam, boom. These freshmen, sophomores, and 3 juniors in business. Ice in their veins, folks. Nice at bat here again. A good at bat last time by Lamb, working all the way to a walk squares. And missed it up and away. Offered, though, it's a strike, so it'll go to 0-2. So 0-2 count. Runners at second and third. 1 down, bottom of the third, 3-2. We got a ball game, folks. And the offering inside fouls it off. So 0-2 the pit, 0-2 the count. 1 out. Tie-in run at third, just 60 feet away. Possible go ahead at second. Great at bat by Vedolino to work her way there, and she walks her way to second. And I'll tell you what, that was Caracciolo that got her to first base. Her base running ability. I mean, she has, talk about full scale. I was talking about it beforehand. And fouls it back. Lamb, nice job working, fighting. I was talking about it before she even showed us her base running there. So, I mean, man, as a sophomore, and those attribute go all the way back to the coaching, but you got to go to the fact that these young players just listen. Bottom line, they listen well. This team has just formed together like glue, and that's such a great thing because they're just going to grow, and they got time. Time's on their side. And the pitch to Lamb upstairs. Had a little spin on it, but again, not a lot of movement. So 1-2 the count. A few foul balls here. Always makes the pitcher work, Lamb. Makes them she gets her money's worth in the box. Looking for a sign, it seems like. I don't know, 1 would be what I would imagine. And that's what it seemed like to me. Pretty straightforward. Fastball, fought off well. So the righty, 2 people on, shade encompassing the field now. Now we got about 2/3 of it. Right fielder's got that sprayed in the middle of the infield as well. The pitch inside, swing and a miss. So the out, 2 down for the Bulldogs. So can they do damage with 2? Number 25, up for the Bulldogs. And we know she can. She's done it before. I got a picture of her right next to me. Not only has she done it, she's been Athlete of the Week. She got a huge part in that Charahoe turnaround, the 18-game losing streak. This team full of no seniors ended an 18-game school losing streak. Yeah, no problem. You guys have been losing for 18 years. We'll do it now. Gets under it. Fly ball to center field. Tough to track with a fall. Shortstop gets back far enough for it. Bulldogs end up with 2, though. Cut into the 3-0 lead. So we got 3 in the books. And the Bulldogs offense blows open, wakes up. So do their emotions. The dugout wakes up. The fans wake up. They cut in. They score 2. The score, the Lincoln Lions 3. The Bulldogs 2. But yet they have just arrived, folks. And I say that because at the beginning of that inning, when Storr stepped in, I said, okay, now this is the second time through the order. Let's see if the Bulldogs offense can adjust to that one pitch. And they can. They did. It took them 1 time through the order, and they scored 2 runs the second time through. So it just took them one time to get used to the speed and not get you get rattled a little bit by a faster pitch. Maybe it'll hit you and maybe it'll hurt like a son of a gun. And you saw that. Sophie Valentini is as tough as they come, and there is no doubt she's tough as nails. You want nobody else on the hill and nobody else to lead you going through for the next 3 years. And she's thrown to a catcher that's the same exact scenario. So, but regardless. So that was probably a little bit first round through the order jitters that the Bulldogs dealt with offensively. Their first batter up last inning, Alex Storr, her second time in, made her way to first base, knew what to do, wasn't intimidated, didn't swing at any bad pitches, and you saw the story of the inning, 2 runs. We now have a 1-run game, excitement back at Similori Field, playoff action here, Westerly.live, Westerly.radio. Folks, this is it for the Lady Bulldogs from us for the 2022 campaign. If this game doesn't go their way, this game is going to put a cap on their campaign. But you know what? It's going to put an exclamation point, regardless of how it goes in the playoffs on this campaign for this team, I'll tell you right now. And I can't wait to see them moving forward. We're going to bring some live action, and it's going to be fun. Moving forward, as I said. And the next cup is going to be baseball, and you're going to have to check the schedule because I don't have live updates, but there's a game right now, and it's a Mount St. Charles versus Tiverton, and the results bear when they play, the baseball team plays. So here we go. Top 4. Valentini's first pitch, ground ball to third. Austin fields clean, fast throw, and it gets there on time, the out. Caracciolo with the stretch at first base, gets the out call, and 1 pitch, 1 up, 1 down, 1 out. For the Bulldogs, that's the way they like it. And a nice stretch by Carrazzo. Man, is she contributing? Has she shown up as a sophomore in the playoffs today? But you just never know with this team. It could be somebody every day. And they have regulars, obviously, but it's just they have a spark every day. Every game they play, they generally have a spark somewhere. And it shows just the fundamentals of this team, like base running. Everybody can bunt on your team. Your hardest hitters on the team, Caracciolo, Valentini, Arnold, they can all bunt. Sprays a pop fly foul, that's a little bit too far foul, and the count is going to go 2-1-1. But every player can hit to the opposite field. Fundamentals. You got to understand, this coaching staff hadn't coached how many freshmen did I say they had? 10 freshmen here today. They had never coached these 10 players before, ever. And these 10 players had never played with the rest of the team, ever. So the fact that they became together and became a team and gelled to have the season they've had, man, I don't know who to give the credit to other than everybody involved. Swing and a miss and a roar from the crowd. So ahead 1-2, Valentini here with 1 out in the top of the 4th inning. And the Lady Bulldogs trailing by only 1. Swing, line drive, straight up the middle. Oof, I had some pepper on it. Henderson bobbles it. Well, thankfully, it stays in her glove. And in it goes. The outfield, a little bit of bobblesy hands, but that one didn't hurt him. So that was fortunately passed ahead of Valentini for a single, a hard hit single with 1 out for the Lions. And at bat the catcher, number 22, Emma Suk. She's a sophomore. And the future of the Bulldogs, I'll get into that when I'm babbling on between the next inning. Squares the bunt, the catcher pulls back, stealing second, but the Bulldogs have rotation, and on the tag, she got her! Arnold rifles her out. Great play by Storr with the running tag. Nice job. Squared the bunt, tried to screw her up, did not screw the captain up behind the plate, Arnold, at all. She's seen it all. Intimidate or divert intention will not happen. The rifle and a great running tag by Storr at short. No runners now, 2 down. Dare I say momentum has shifted in the air here at Similori Field, folks. And that drop ball that goes away from a lefty just misses the spot. The count 2-0, but now we have 2 outs and nobody on. That's such an emotional swing, and I have not seen many successful runners versus Arnold and a lefty to boot, and fouled straight back. So the Lions really tried to do everything they could to get in Arnold's way that play and make that a successful steal, but that was just a great rotation by the whole offense. Caracciolo doped, crashed in on the bunt. Vedolina rotated to first. Storr rotated over to second. Got the throw from Arnold, which the lefty was supposed to be in the way of. Pop foul, not going to get there. The lefty was supposed to screw up Arnold when she squared the bunt, and then be in the way of the throw. None of that got in the way of any of these players. So all these young complexities of the game, these young players are succeeding through. It really is just so impressive. And the fact that they never got nervous. Down 3-0, no problem. And that is going to drop, looks like, in. Henderson tracking it. Nice job. Makes up territory. She does a great job and has all season. I thought he hit the gap early, but Henderson says no. And the Bulldogs that quickly end what could have been a little bit of a threat. And we are through 3.5 innings of play, folks. And the Lincoln Lions 3 and the Bulldogs turn to bat here, coming in the bottom of the 4th inning. Coming up for you in just a few moments. And we can go even further in the system here, in the ladies' fast pitch system. And like I said, I did a lot of research. Man, talking about the future of this high school squad, and I know you're probably sick of hearing it, but you're going to hear it till the end of this one, and who knows, maybe going further. But anyway, as far as middle school softball, we coming forward, this girls' squad has quite the future, apparently. They opened the state tournament with a win, and their pitcher, Lila Orth, ran 17 in the opener. She threw a 5-hitter as Westerly Middle defeated Situate in a 2-1 ball game in the first round of the middle school state tournament last Tuesday at Similary Field right here. Orth walked just 2 batters and allowed 5 hits, pitching all 7 innings. In addition, Frankie Arnold finished 3 for 3 for 7th-seeded Westerly. If you recognize any of these names, that's why I'm bringing them up to you, because they're very similar names and stuff. And you go on to the second game of the middle school softball. Westerly defeats number 2 Gallagher. Westerly's a 7th seed, mind you, huge upset in the state quarterfinals. And you go to the names, Frankie Arnold and Ella Keegan both went 3 for 5 in the RBI, and 7th-seeded Westerly Middle upset number 2 Gallagher in state middle school softball tournament play. Again, pitcher Lila Orth strikes out 10 in the quarterfinal victory. So anyone there, they traveled to number 3 Charo, apparently on either Wednesday or Thursday in the semifinals. So it goes all the way back down to the middle school line, and there's a traveling team that I know a couple of coaches are involved in. The Wave Runners, so this entire system here in Westerly is nothing but growing here. But here we go, folks. We're back in the playoffs, bottom of the 4th. Bulldogs trailed by only 1 run. It gets no better than this. It gets no closer. It gets no more nerve-wracking. The Bulldogs have responded. This is their second time through, and they're ready to go as the Lincoln Lions get together here in the middle of the field for their last bit of advice to each other, give each other some high fives. What was a 3-0 lead is a 3-2 lead, and we've seen methodical, slow comebacks by these Bulldog teams. We've seen the quick version as well. In the box, third baseman for the Bulldogs, that's going to be Isabella Austin, the freshman, squaring, everybody moving around, doing something to move the defenders, swinging a miss on the slash. Did it last time twice. Having a tough time on it here tonight. That was a little bit upstairs. She went with it. And again, comes back with it, and that's inside and low, pulls back 1-1 count. And sometimes batters are just more comfortable doing it. Maybe that's just her thing. I have no idea. Offers it again, and it's going to be pulled back. And inside for the ball, I do believe, and she's doing a nice job with a good eye up there. 2-1 the count. In come the corners. She's going to pull back. She stays in. And it gets past the catcher. Goes and bounces right back to her. Nobody on base. No harm done. 3-1 the count. So what was 0-1, she's worked back 3 straight balls. So maybe the bat in front of this fastball pitcher, maybe the report is it affects her accuracy. That could be too if I think a little bit deeper. There's got to be a reason behind it. And she's going to lay it. And she offers and misses. Now it's a full count. So now you got to go. Choke and poke, they would say. Put it in play. I don't know if that motto still exists. It ages me, I guess, but Punch and Judy, baseball and softball, I still like. Upstairs, called strike 3. I thought it was up in the zone a little bit. Was Lovey unhappy with the call, too? I don't know. I didn't like the call. But, 1 out, regardless, I can't change the call. Number 14, such an asset on the bases last inning. For the Bulldogs, Brooke Power, only a freshman outfielder timeout. Lovey wants to talk. There is a substitution in the game, so I just heard secondhand that Brooke Power is going to be in for Ava Tenuta. I don't know. There are different substitution rules, folks, in this game of softball that I have not made myself privy to. So there's a chance we can see Tenuta again. Squares the bunt. No good. Because I know that there are re-entries in softball and such. So whatever it is, it's thought out by Coach Luppy, I am sure. Well, like I said, what this coaching staff has done, they deserve the grand bundle of the credit. Them and the players and another pass ball, so she's rattled. It does rattle her a little bit when there's a bat in front. It's a little odd to see every batter doing it, but hey. It's creating movement, and thus far, that has been an issue for the Lions, and that's how the base running created the 2 runs for the Bulldogs. You can tell she's going to move it already. And she's bunting for a hit. That one goes back. And that is going to up the count to 2-1. We are in the bottom of the 4th inning here, folks. Similar field, playoff action. Last time we're going to see action on this field in the 2022 campaign. What a great job this Bulldog squad has done. Kudos, ladies. You have done exemplary pass ball. Good job pulling it back by power. You have really been beyond entertaining, and you really have. And I can't wait to see you guys all next year and moving further. Depending on how this game goes, good luck moving forward. Squares again, pulls away, but it's a ball. Oh, that's a called strike. Seems like the zone might be widening a little bit. 3-2 now. See what the methodology is here. Full count. And that's going to be low and away. We got a base runner on our hands. That's all Coach Luppy wanted. And that's what he got. So here we go. At bat for the Bulldogs. Leading off again. Start of the order. They've spun the top. And they have the always dangerous number 36 shortstop, Alex Storr. Did her job last time. Got on base. Made her way around. And I do believe she is one of the ones that got plated. Corner's playing in a bit. Everybody can bunt, and that is the steal. Throws down there. Slide around the throw. No, got the tag in. Oh, you could have run around that throw, possibly. I do believe maybe. Only a freshman. No, you got to remember that, folks. Got to remember that. That throw was there way before the runner, but it was ahead of the bag, so maybe a little bit of funky running. Could have done it now. A little bit of air let out of the tires here. 2 outs and Storr on. They wanted to put her in scoring position, and I as a coach would have done the same thing. Chop her to the pitcher, and she runs the first, throws her out with a missile to first. That'll end the inning, and then that was kind of the thing. But the bottom line is, as a coach, you want to get someone. There's 2 outs, and you got to run around first. It's your job to try to get her on second any way you can by pressing whatever buttons, and that goes prior to the batter. You know what I mean? You want, if the batter to get a hit, you want that for her to be a run. And so she tried and got thrown out. Nice throw by the catcher. The Lions doing a nice job of diffusing the Bulldogs. Coming off of a 2-run inning, the Bulldogs don't really threaten in the 4th. We have 4 in the books. We have 3 to go, folks. And we're almost even. 3-2 score. This young Lady Bulldog squad trails only by 1. This young, fully able Lady Bulldog squad. And others, I don't want to talk too much about the other squads in the spring here, but I will say that the varsity boys volleyball team ended the season with a 13-5 record. Man, they had an exciting season, folks. They really did. Their season, I have articles all over, and we'll talk about them when I see them. They do have a home game. I do believe it'll be next week. I don't know when. But they earned 1 home game this postseason, and regardless of the final of that game, that will be their only game in Federico Gymnasium. We'll bring it to you. They jumped Pilgrim in the last game of the regular season for sole possession of 3rd place. The teams in 1st place and 2nd place, folks, they brought both of those teams to 5 sets. So that's a fully capable team of making some noise. I call it a possible buzzsaw in the playoffs. They got senior leadership. They got it right through. Let me tell you that right now. They have good senior leadership, and they have athleticism on the squad. We have had the opportunity to cover them a great deal. So let's see when they get started. And as I said, right across this complex, the Division 2B South Bulldogs ended the season 20-3, 17-1 overall Division 2B champions. They got a bye in the first round, and they will play either Thursday or Friday, and we are bringing that to you live this week. Excuse me, volleyball wouldn't be until the following week, I think. I don't know. You're going to have to check Westerly.live for the schedule. Like I said, everything's fluid, and so is this game too. We got a 1-run ball game, folks. 3 innings left here in somebody's season. That's the beauty of the playoffs. That's why it's so exciting. Somebody goes home in 3 innings. Bottom line. If I'm a Bulldog, I'm not heartbroken. Right? Just because it's easier for me to say. There's going to be definitely emotions on the field, without a doubt. But this isn't a game where somebody's going to hang up their cleats And first pitch, ground ball, Vadalino vacuums it up. Throw to first, nice job. And that's a 4-3 ground out to open things up with one out. So nobody's hanging up their cleats or hanging up their jersey as a Bulldog for good today for this Bulldog squad. And that means a lot. It really does. They will all be back, donning their same number or the number that they hope for. And we've just seen so many multi-weapon athletes. I got to tell you, this game here, full circle, I can't say full circle enough. Emma Grotzlow, we've seen everything out of her. From homers out of the park to suicide squeeze bunts, stolen bases. Pops up, Valentini handles it herself. 2 up, 2 down, 3 pitches, 2 outs. Bulldogs moving right along here defensively. Folks, everyone say, shh, be quiet, hush, hush. They're right in this thing. They're only down by 1 run. And the closer they get to the 7th, the nerve thing's over with the Bulldogs. They got nothing to lose at this point. That's when the nerves come on to the senior squad of the Lions. Nice breaking ball outside. That's when the nerves and the vice grip cramps in a little bit. It's on this Lions squad because somebody would be hanging up the jersey. In fact, I wrote it down. They got 4 seniors. So 4 players on the field in red. That's it. If they lose this game, they never play with the red again. And that means a lot for these young women and young men that we bring to you live. It really does. Unfortunately, this isn't it for any of these Bulldogs. What a breaking ball on the outside. What a great job pulling it up by Arnold. And 1-2 count. 2 down for Valentini. And the Bulldogs looking to get out of this 5th inning in style. And right over the break-in ball. What a beauty. Took a little speed off of it. And it looks like Valentini, it doesn't look like, there's no doubt, has gotten more solid as she's gone on, as she's warmed up. But you got to remember it wasn't her fault. There was a couple bobbles in that outfield, and that relay came in poorly. And a couple of those first 2 runs may not have happened. I don't believe they were earned, in fact. So we were putting the blame nowhere, but talk about bounce back. They're down by 1 run. They still are going to 3 more plate appearances here. Everyone on that squad in the dugout's going to get another shot to play. And they've done really what I thought they'd do. They struggled their way through 1 trip through, got used to this pitcher a little bit, and now they're back. They've scored 2. They threatened a little bit last inning, and let's see what they do this inning. With 3 more appearances and only this fastball, and I don't see it gaining speed. They generally don't. You have pitchers who could, Clemens, Nolan Ryan, whoever, in baseball. Maybe that happens in softball, but the Bulldogs, the saying, the old fable is, you can always set your timing to a fastball no matter how fast it is eventually. If you get your 3rd and your 4th opportunity to get up there, eventually anyone with enough athleticism to be on the team is going to have enough athleticism to hit a straight fastball. I've seen her try to throw a couple different pitches we've seen, a little bit of movement. I just don't see, if she could throw something in there that had a lot of an off-speed pitch to it, man, it should be nearly impossible to hit. But I think the Bulldogs have all possibilities in the world here. Leadoff hitting Dina Arnold, the catcher for the Bulldogs. The captain, junior. And that's another thing, with back-to-back returning for the Bulldogs with actually Storr leading off. And you have Dina Arnold and you have Valentini, and the Valentini-Arnold pair, they're back next year again throwing to each other. Pitcher-catcher relationship. So important in baseball and softball. So Arnold leading off, bottom of the 5th. Squares the bunt. Foul off it goes. 0-1 the count here in the bottom of the 5th inning, folks. If you're just joining us, it's 3-2. Preliminary game, playoff action. Winner moves on, loser goes home. Vice gripping a little bit on the seniors and the red here on this Lincoln squad as they were up by 3, and she pops foul, goes foul 0-2 the count. Bulldogs have creeped their way back. They're only down by 1. I will say number 20, the pitcher, and number 22, the 2 possibly most important pitcher-catcher, they're only sophomores. So this isn't the last game for either of them. So that makes things a little bit more challenging if you're a Bulldog as well. If I'm going to say it one way, I have to respect it the other as well. Squaring again, Arnold fouls back, and that's going to do it. I think you get 1 extra one. I think is the rule. No, that's going to do it. 3rd strike? Yeah, all right. So you can't foul back on the 3rd strike, and she does on the bunt attempt. 3 attempts went foul, so 1 out for the Bulldogs. And Valentini will try to get things started with 1 down here to help out her own cause. In on the plate. And the offering, and we're not going to see any square on that one, up and away. I was wondering if I would see it on this one. I didn't want to, and I didn't. And Valentini's going to get the swing through. 1-0 the count. And up and in a little bit on the strike zone side of things, though. Swing and a miss. Probably had to go after it. Good pitch. Had some little heat behind it. So it doesn't look like the pitch is getting very tired by any means, Torres. And a little spin on that one. Definitely a change of speed, though. But a ball out of the strike zone. So he's not forcing the batter to offer. Again, only a sophomore. Inside on the strike zone, swing and a miss, and a little frustration showing. It's early for frustration still. Only the bottom of the fifth inning here as Shade encompasses just about everything except for the batter. And fouls off, stays alive. She's really getting her on the inside handcuffs. I mean, even if you put that thing forward, you're not getting a lot behind it. Getting a little coaching from the dugout by the coaches. You can feel the nerves a little bit in the atmosphere on the third baseline correction. And she gets it in on her hands. That's where the pitcher was trying to do. Just get it in on her hands. I said about 2 seconds ago. It seems like the pitcher's trying to get her cut off, and even if she had put him fair, it wouldn't be anything behind it, and that's what happened. So Torres won that battle, and let's see what to do with Caracciolo here at bat for the Bulldogs. Nobody on it, 2 outs. And it's unfortunate you have a weapon up here and no ducks on the pond really to catch in on. So you got to see if she can get things started with 2. And line drive, foul ball by an inch. Absolutely roped first pitch. Third baseman didn't even flinch, and it was past her. They're laughing. They didn't even see the ball to move as it went between Coach Luppy and the third baseman. Pitcher finds it amusing. Sure would have been great if it went fair. But, man, Caracciolo really excelling as the season went on and really peaking at the peak point of the regular season in here tonight as a sophomore athlete leader for this Bulldog squad moving forward. Truly in every aspect. Watching what we saw tonight, really watching an athlete take a step up as an athlete in her sophomore year in a playoff game. Just taking a complete step up as an athlete for herself is what I've seen. And that's up and in. That went off her hand or her bat off her hand. And it was dangerous, but she seems okay. Calling the foul, calling it off the button of the bat. Man, that is often called. Well, we'll see if... It's up to the official. He determines whether it hit the nub of the bat or the hand first. And he's going to say it hit the nub of the bat. Coach Luppy's going to say, how did you see that? And he's going to say, I did. And Coach Luppy's not going to win the argument. And it's going to be a strike. Fortunately, that's the way those things go, folks. I do not predict the future, but I've just seen it a million times. Yeah, I mean, it can hit both. It's really a matter of, it's just whatever you want to call. Who's seeing that live? 0-2 pitch, though. They're 2 down, nobody on. Lions trying to get out of 5 innings here with a 1-run lead. And the offering away. Good eye. You got to throw it straight to her. And a little break on that one. So she does have a breaking ball. Just far less break than we see out of our pitcher. And you take away an unearned run, one of the 2 unearned. But you can say that anyway, in any game, any day. And the pitch, that's up and in. That hit her in the hand. You got to give her that one Ashford as well, right? No, is it a foul too? Oh my God, they're calling out off the bat as well. Holy cow. To have that happen 2 times in 1 at bat, and Coach Luppy's not happy with this. And they're arguing back and forth absolutely verbally, and I'll tell you what, I agree with Coach Luppy 100%. The odds of that happening 2 in a row with the same at bat, not touching a digit first, up and away, good eye, and not touching a digit of the fingers first is a very, very low. Regardless, I'd rather see her swing anyway. She's dynamite with the bat, and what a great eye. Working the bat, back to 2-2 here. That big early hit, she gets cocked and loaded early. That's a balk. There's nobody on. I don't know. That really, apparently you can kind of just do that. Full count we have here now. and very much respecting the batter. I do believe at the moment is what you're seeing from the pitcher, trying to figure the perfect approach. And over the plate, leaves it, doesn't get this one. So that'll end the inning for the Lions. And they do it in style. They answer well, and that's 5 innings in the books. The Lions, who had jumped ahead by 3-0, lead the Bulldogs by a score of 3-2, 5 down. And we have a 1-run ball game, folks. This is Westerly.live, Westerly.radio, and we are bringing you preliminary playoff action, meaning this is a win-or-go-home game. The winner moves on to Tollgate. They're going to head there on the road. This is the last game at Similori. Either way, and I'm going to say it again, either way, this team has brought, such entertainment and such a bright horizon to us to watch all season long. What they've brought has been beyond entertainment, and the future of this team, the sky is just beyond the limit. I can't wait to cover them going forward. I said that before as a prelude to this game. I really said it. I said that I didn't care how this game works out, but clearly I do. I'm rooting for Wesley. I always am. But the bottom line is this team's just done so much and grown so much throughout the season already. I don't want to see this team get down on themselves if they perhaps go down in a game because their compliments, man, and their accolades definitely go noticed by the people that matter. And that goes to the coaching staff as well, to be able to bring a team together so fast and to have the years to go with them. And then the middle school staffs. It just, apparently the softball system's got it going on because it's just a bright future here. We're at the top of the 6th inning suddenly. And Valentini's in. Pitcher versus pitcher. Breaking ball, bounces, gets away. 1-0 the count here. The pitcher for the Lions, Torres. So we are in the top of the 6th inning. Bulldogs trail by 1. 6 outs to go here. Nerves in the crowd. It's a little quieter. Breaking ball going away. He does a nice job spraying it to right field. Track for the Bulldogs. Can't get to it. Runs into the fence a little bit. That was a tough one to get to. Nice effort by Torrey Gabriel, the freshman for the Bulldogs. Yep, they're freshmen. They're sophomores. But just every different kind of game we've seen this team play. We've seen them come back in the bottom of the 7th. We've seen them winning extra innings. We've seen them slow and methodical comebacks. That one, she takes what she gets with it, goes with it. It's going to be a one-hopper to the fence, past Gabriel. The relay in, gets past Vettelino, and vacuums it up. So that's a double to lead things off. And that's a very nice piece of hitting. I have to give credit where credit is due by number 20. Those weren't bad pitches by Sophia. Those were off the outside portion of the plate. She just went to the right, to the power alley, right center field. And there's a big gap there at the moment. I don't know what, I'm not sure exactly what, they haven't communicated that gap, but there is one certainly there. Squares the bunt. They know how important one insurance run can be. Number 24 at bat for the Lions. That's Gabriel Fioli. She is a senior. So she's playing for the jersey. This is it. If she loses, she don't don it anymore. And as a player, that matters. Bulldogs play probably a little more loosey-goosey, I would think, or it could work the other way regardless. They'll be back, bigger and better. Squares the bunt, pulls it back, breaking ball, call the ball. Getting signs from the third base coach. 1-1 is the count here. We got nobody on, and then possible insurance run at second base for the Lions. That gets by Arnold, and she makes her way to third for free. So now you don't need the bunt. The Bulldogs, some punch and Judy offense. They've had to manufacture the runs, and a suicide squeeze is a perfect example. That's old school baseball. By bunting, they've scored the bunt a million times. But that's how they've won a lot of games throughout the year. They've won in a million different ways. I have so many articles, but I don't want to miss anything in front of us. And the bunt handled by Valentini, throws her out, but that was a safety squeeze. The difference between what Caracciolo laid down, hers was a suicide squeeze. Somebody's going home, full speed. If you don't put the bunt down, the catcher's going to catch it, and she's out. It's like a suicide mission, essentially is what they call it. That there is a safety squeeze where she gets halfway down the line. If you miss the bunt, she can get back. But if you lay it down, you're too far for us on the defense to throw you out. Well executed by the Lions. They get their insurance run 4-2. Straight back up the middle, funny spin. Storr takes it, throw out first. 2 outs in the inning now. And nobody on, so the Bulldogs looking to make it back to their dugout, down by only 2. Nobody on, 2 outs, 2-run lead by the Lincoln Lions. And the lefty, number 3, Catherine Hine, the senior outfielder, at bat for the Lions. And the runner, I say that because that's just her style, I recall now. She's a senior, so you know what? She's comfortable with it. And that drops to 2-0 for Valentini. 2 outs, nobody on, 1 run in here in the 6th, an important one. And that drops in the zone for a strike. 2-1 the count, 2 down. Bulldogs just want to get the bat back in their hands. And that's upstairs, holds it back. 3-1 the count. And Valentina's offering sort of a swinging bunt. She's going to get there, and that's her style, and that's how it goes. That's what she likes to do, that little slap, and it worked. And she did it comfortably. She did it like she's a senior, and she's been doing it for 4 years. So kudos to her. She leads off with a hit for the Lions. And, leads off nothing. 2-out hit for the Lions. And number 10 at bat, Kelsey Smith, the junior, first baseman. You got to be looking for a steal or something to get the runner into scoring position here for the Lions, if you're a Lion. And no. And yes, I would have been a steal attempt. Excuse me, I called it a little early. It would have been a late jump, though. So you got the baseball team in support in the outfield there, out in left field with some of their players. And we saw that last game as well. Just some good athletes all around spring sports scope here in Westerly. And a lot of success, really. It's a lot of youth, a lot of success. And a lot of excitement for next year, for the future, for us here at Westerly.live and for Westerly Sports. I'm telling you right now, there's going to be some deep playoff runs as they move forward. And we have one team we got a couple teams with possibility this year, there's no doubt. The one team, obviously, everyone notices is the baseball squad that ended with that commanding record and the division championship, the bye, and the opportunity of playing home field advantage in their series. But they, too, have to earn their way to their series. So we're going to be bringing you a game of theirs live on either Thursday or Friday night. We'll have the schedule for you on Westerly.live. And if they lose, their season's over, too. So that's a must-win. And for such a successful season, that's a nerve builder just right there alone. So we are bringing you some action, a little bit different type of action here on Thursday, Friday night, because there are seniors on that team. That team was built for this year. So you're going to hear a little different version of me as well. But here we go. Back on the field. We got a runner on first base and 2 outs. And she's going to try to steal second. Throw on the line. Can't hold the tag. And in scoring position she gets. You knew she was going to try. Throw was on the money. She's got good speed, that runner there. Number 3, Catherine Hine, the senior. So a runner in scoring position. And at bat, number 10, Kelsey Smith. And she gets the hit. And how fast she going to get in? No, we have a bobble out there, and that's going to make it another run. And another bobble in the outfield. I think we've bobbled more than we've actually brought up clean here. And now it's coming back to hurt us a little bit. Down 5-2 the score. Seems like everything... Not everything, but a lot of the balls to the outfield have been picked up and dropped, and that allows the extra base. A run goes in, and that makes it 5-2 Lions, 2 down. This was all 2-out damage here, folks. Catcher bats again for the Lions. And a swing and a miss over the plate. So we are in the shade here, and if nothing less for this Bulldog squad, what experience, what playoff experience they're having, what experience they've had all season. They've learned how to endure a grueling entire season. They learned how to do it. They did it, and they did it in style. 14-4 with this youth. And now this youth gains seniority for next year, and then that just gains depth into the playoffs. With experience comes depth. Comes victories, I'm telling you. And a strikeout by Valentina to end the inning and the damage. We're 5.5 complete here at Similori Field, and the Bulldogs trail by 3. The Lions 5, the Bulldogs 2, and we are going to take a short break, and we'll be right back, folks. And welcome back. We are live, folks, from our field. Lady Bulldog action, playoff action, prelims, folks. Bulldogs do trail 5-2 here in the bottom of the sixth inning to the Lincoln Lions. They have played a great game thus far. I mean, you expected mistakes to be made. It's such a young team, folks. And you expected nerves to be an issue. And if they bounce back from an early deficit, and can they bounce back from this? Absolutely. Lily Vetolino stepping in for the Bulldogs right now. We've seen them bounce back all season long. This is their first playoff experience for 90% of these players, really. Or minimal playoff experience at that for some of the juniors. Vetolino takes the ball. And I'm telling you right now, what we're seeing, honestly, is a very fundamental Lincoln squad. It seems like everyone out there on defense has an excellent arm, excellent accuracy. They've done a nice job. They really have. Called strike. Takes it, evens up the count 1-1. They come in, done a really nice job. They can hit. They can go the other way with it. They've kind of kept us off balance throughout the game. And they have a balanced lineup, seniors to freshmen. And inside, taking for a ball, evens up the count. 2-1, correct. And by no means is there any quit in the dugout as you hear the Bulldogs teammates. And swing and a miss. A little pipe on it. Over the plate. And speaking to Coach Luppy prior to the game, I'm not sure how the team ended with a 9-9 record. I guess maybe some of the youth of their team and the pitching was an issue now at points. But I can see this team being a buzzsaw in the playoffs if Wesley's unable to knock them off here. Definitely if this pitcher can get command and can keep it around the plate, this team's a tough team to play. They play good behind her. And this hasn't been the sharpest game for us, and I didn't expect it to be. I truly didn't, because, like I said, we're so darn young. I didn't expect a 14-4 season. That just says so much to the coaching and to the leaders on the field. So we got one down. Lamb, one of the junior leaders, number 5, at bat for the Bulldogs, nobody on. One out, bottom of the 6th. Bulldogs have 5 more outs in this one. Need to make some noise here. Swing and a miss on the inside pitch. It's got some different kind of pitches. She's throwing a little bit of spin, but not a lot of movement, other than just straightforward fast. One of the harder throwers we've seen. That sophomore out of Mount Hope is, out of the pitchers I have seen, is the best. I hear that Middletown has a challenger. We were unable to do that game. I do believe we were across the complex when she pitched, and the Bulldogs prevailed in that game on a wild pitch in the bottom of the 7th. See, just more action. And we heard it from the baseball field. The sports complex has been so just fireworks this year. Inside, and that hits her, Bulldogs get a base runner. And that's all it takes to start things off is one. Can't start without one. But this complex as a whole has just been fireworks this season. So Katie Lamb at first, number 12 at bat. Tori Gabriel, the freshman. She is an outfielder. Emergency pitcher. And that pitch is outside. Call the ball. One 0 pitch, one out. Runner on first, trailing by 3. And it's up and away. On deck for the Bulldogs is, let's see here. On deck for the Bulldogs is Ava D'Artona, and she is a freshman for the Bulldogs. And bringing up her name, now that I mention it, on the pitch called strike. Ava D'Artona hits the ball on a button, on the laces, as hard as any Bulldog on the team. I'll tell you that right now, she's a freshman, and she does it already. When she hits the ball, which is most of the time, talk about on the laces and I've seen her put it off the fence. I've seen her put it to the warning track. And I've seen her, in general, just even when it's to the infield, hit it too hard to handle. So she hits it on the numbers. She's only a freshman. And I've seen her contribute offensively throughout the year so many times. Her name has come up. So I want to make sure I didn't forget that. So I'm glad I just noticed that number. So there's definitely some powerhouses coming back next year offensively for the Bulldogs. With Dina Arnold and with, I don't want to just take names, Emma Carranza, obviously. Alex Storr as well. She hit the ball anywhere. Drive it as well. She's got a homer under her belt this year, but it's not about home runs. It's just these same names. And at bat for the Bulldogs, number 24, Ava D'Artona. Two runners on, one out. Bottom of the sixth. Bulldogs 2, Lions 5. Preliminary action here in the playoffs. Let's have everybody moving on a breaking pitch. Swing and a miss. First pitch up and in. Good location by the pitcher. Kind of want to shift these two runners if you can. Get that single. The outfield playing pretty shallow. And I got to be honest, we haven't driven one today. And another swing and a miss quickly up 0-2. And pitch down and away, and the catcher, nice job scooping it up. Saves getting both of those runners from going into scoring position. One and two the count. Two runners on, one out. Upstairs, good eye, 2-2. And that's upstairs, gets past the catcher, and that's just what the doctor ordered for the Bulldogs. So they're both in scoring position, and it required nothing by the Bulldogs other than that little pass. So with two on board, man, if the Bulldogs could knock these two in, even if it was just these two, we'd have a one-run game maybe going into the seventh inning. Full count, first base open. You're obviously careful with your pitch if you're a pitcher. In fact, you want to throw a strike. Maybe something she'll chase. Low, and then called strike three. Tough pitch. She does the opposite and throws the strike and gets the reaction. So 2 outs now for the Bulldogs. And see, this is where it comes in. A youth, freshman at bat, Brooke Power for the Bulldogs, because that's what this Bulldog team is comprised of. Two outs, two runners in scoring position. Perhaps their last opportunity. You never know. Music stops, pitch in. Oh, it gets away from him and the run comes in. Slide down and in. Bulldogs get one for free. And the second one's going to stay at third. They got a free one. 5-3 we go. Here we go, boys. We got a game now. And the ladies' dugout is alive. And at the beginning of the game, we talked about that in pregame. I guess that's me and you guys. But the ball was getting by the catcher every now and again, and that has mattered. I do believe 2 of the runs are on pass balls. And they sure could use another one. If another one could get by them, they can play one more. Like I said, make this a one-run thing. We've seen them come back for more than that. We've seen them come back for more than 2 in the 7th inning. Number 14, Brooke Power, freshman. This is a situation she has never been in. So there's no other way to look at it. So what do you expect? What can you expect? Who knows? I mean, that's really kind of how you came into this game with this squad. And they've answered. It's a 5-3 game, running around third, 6th inning. We got a game going into the 7th. They've answered in every way, in my opinion. And that's up to the backstop. Do they get the second one? And they do for free. Before the game, we talked about it, folks. And what was just a 3-run game is now a 1-run game. All on base running for the Bulldogs. And they trail now 5-4. 2 outs, nobody on. But, folks, we are playing 7 innings here at Similori. This is the playoffs, and this thing is far from over. The grand finale has yet to be set off. Whatever saying you want me to insert. Strike called, 2-2 count, 2 outs, nobody on. The Bulldogs talk about resilience, bounce back and bounce back and bounce back, and don't go away. Swing and a miss. 2-2 the count. So what an emotional lift for the Bulldogs to propel them an opportunity here, a real one in the 7th inning. And a nice bunt to get by the pitcher. Pitcher rifles at the 1st inning. A nice defense by the Lions, but the Bulldogs tack on 2 runs the old school way. Punch and Judy softball, bunts, base running, singles, Pass balls, pass balls, pass balls. That's what you get with a fast pitcher. Sometimes it's too quick for the catcher. And like I said before the game, we saw a bunch of them, and it's carried over. Oh, my God, are we ever excited here? It's a one-run ball game. It's 5-4. Seems like throughout this game, the Bulldogs have always been just that little bit too much away. They jumped out down 2, and then it was 3, and then they were back 3-2, and then it went to 5-2, and now suddenly it's 5-4, folks. 6 innings are gone. We got 1 inning. This Bulldog team trailed by 1 run, 1 inning to go, and yeah, well, that's it. That's the plot. That's the synopsis, folks. Down by 1. If they score, if they move on. If they win, they move on. If they don't, they played one hell of a season, I got to tell you right now. And I am beyond excited for the future either way. And we're going to move on to the other side of the complex later in this week. Either Thursday night or Friday night, and we're going to pick up the baseball team. And they're in some home field throughout it, and we're going to see if that team moves forward. Same as volleyball. But to hear it now, this softball team, man, did they come and did they play? And have they played to impress tonight like every other night? I told you that they have had 7th inning comebacks, extra inning comebacks, throughout the game comebacks. That's today's resilience. They've hung around and hung around and hung around and hung around. Now they got a chance. First pitch swinging, though, they had some fortune on that, and they go with it. They really do use that outside of the plate really well. First pitch swinging, that's right where that pitch went. Singled it to right, and you can't say anything about that. That's just top-notch fundamentals by the Lions. They really have, and unfortunately, that's the breaking. That's where the break is on Valentin's pitcher, anybody, against this team, and they go with it very well. Still unsure on how they really ended up 9-9. I'm really unsure of that. It has to be the I don't know. Either way, whichever team that moves on tonight is a buzzsaw. The Bulldogs, because they have nothing to lose. They're all coming back. This team here, because they are a real solid team defensively, and I've seen several of them throughout the lineup. When I say them, I mean the Lions hit the ball on the buttons. They really have. And Valentini is a tough pitcher to hit, and man, she's got 2 more to go too. And that is a called strike. 2-1 the count. Nobody out. Runner on first. We are in the 7th inning preliminary playoff action here at Similar Field, folks. Bulldogs trail by 1 run, 5-4. Westerly.live, Westerly.radio, bring you all home playoff action. And that's going to be sprayed in foul territory on the right side. Off of her hands as she shakes them. Good crowd on hand today. Couldn't have had better weather. It was hot earlier. It started to cool off. Two and two count. Nobody out, 1 on. You really don't want that insurance run to plate. Swing and a miss, and that's what you needed, and that's what you got, Valentini, with the strikeout. You really don't want that insurance run to plate. You want to keep it at 5-4. I mean, I'm not some czar by saying that. Clearly, obviously, you want to do that. And this production, and what a production has been brought to you in part by the Knickerbocker Music Center Live, Valenti Subaru, Wireless Zone, Strategia, Remy's Cycles, Teddy's Toys, and McQuaid's Ace Hardware. And the pitch, not going far from the base, respecting Arnold's arm. And she is always looking. She is always paying attention, knows where the base runners are. And the pitch, breaking ball off speed, nice pitch, fouled away. So ahead in the count now. Well, evened up 1-1 anyway. 1-1, 1 out. 7th inning, 1 run deficit. 1's the number. Bulldogs trying to keep it at 1. And the pitch stays away, knuckleball action. 2-1 the count. And the pitch by Valentini, off speed, nice pitch. Way ahead of it, man, she took a lot off that one. When she gets command of that pitch on a regularity, yeah, good luck, let me tell you. That was a nice pitch, well located. Dropped about 10 miles per hour off the thing. Something ridiculous, and didn't have a lot of spin. And the pitch, breaking ball over the middle, swinging a miss, strikes her out. So when needed, the strikeouts come. 7th inning in the playoffs. Valentini stepping up, 2 strikeouts in a row to keep her team in this thing and give them a chance down by only 1. Here we go, folks, pitcher versus pitcher. And this pitcher, number 20, has had a high hand at bat, Torres, the sophomore. Breaking ball stays upstairs. She went to right field last time, and I see that they're playing the line a little bit. Center fielder's playing straight up, though, leaving the gap that pretty exposed that she used. Swings and uses up the middle, and that gets by. And that's going to get to Henderson. She's going to get to third. They got to get it in quick. And they don't hit the relay man. They're going to go home with it. And the plate's not going to get it. And that is another mental error by the Bulldogs in the field. I don't think it goes in the books as any kind of an error because everybody kind of caught the ball and threw it somewhere. But in reality, that should have been runners on first and second, or at worst, runners on first and third. That didn't work out well for the Bulldogs at all. Should have been runners on first and third. Nice job of forcing the issue by the Lions. They got the run. They got another runner on the pond. And I'll tell you what, number 20, Jen Steele in third. And it throws down there. It's late, number 20. Lime Torres has done everything for this Lions team tonight. She has pitched. She has hit on the button to left field, to right field. She has run. She has stolen bases. And she is also, she's only a sophomore. So she's got a bright future ahead for this Lions squad. They do come with 5 seniors, though. Six to 4 the score, trying to end the bleeding here. Keep them in it. And an off-speed breaking ball, swing and a miss. Seventh inning action here. Bulldogs need to stop it, need to leave that runner at third. And fouls it away. 2 outs, 2 strikes, 1 ball. 2 strikeouts by Valentini this inning. He is really, we would love 1 more. They've had a lot of success to the left side of, from the left side of store to the foul line. Right up the middle it goes, and that's in for the hit. And that's going to be an RBI single up the chute, 7 to 4 the score. And the senior, or maybe the seniority kicking in a little bit for this Lion team. Maybe they realize in their desperation that happens. I was a senior once. I was a sophomore once. So I know both emotions on the field. And disappointment definitely could come in for these Bulldogs, but you know what? God, I don't know how many people out here are going to tell them how unbelievable of a season they put together and the squad they put together and the little family that they put together that is going to be just so beyond entertaining for the next couple years to come, including next year. There will be, this year there weren't expectations. This was such a young team. There were not expectations of any appearance in any playoffs, let alone going 14-4. So to have the season that this team had and to have the resilience to do all the different things that they did, the 7th inning comebacks, the bottom of the 7th comebacks against the Middletowns and the teams right up in it, and the comebacks on the road, and the excitement with the home runs and this winning on pass balls, and they've done it all. They really have. They've brought it all. And that ends the inning for the Bulldogs toward of Vedolino, and the Bulldogs in what could be their final at bat of the season. Bottom of the 7th inning here, prelim action at Similori Field. The Lions were able to add a couple, and nothing but support and love coming from the coaches as the team huddles up in the middle, because this team has done nothing but do a great job for themselves and just for the softball community in general, because we know going forward that this team, there's going to be hopes. This team, like I was saying, their expectancy wasn't nearly what they achieved. It was it was a question mark. And to bring in so many brand new freshmen and just enmesh them, entangle them, and become one enough to put together that kind of a record over the long haul. I mean, over 18 games to become 14-4, that's a long road. And some of those days were after school, when you don't want to do it, when you don't feel well. Some of them were delayed and changed. There's still been scheduling issues carried over. It's still nothing's been perfectly normal. And to comprise a 14-4 record at the hands of 3 juniors, 10 freshmen, and 9 sophomores, that's just beyond. And next year is just going to be even better. And it should be the way it is. We've spun the top. Bottom of the 7th inning is going to be led off by Alex Storr, our leadoff hitter, multi-sport athlete. She's our shortstop. She's had a good night tonight at short. And she's going to just grow in her trade as well in both of them. Bottom of the 7th inning for the Dogs. And they are excited with nothing but support here at Similori Field. First pitch inside. Definitely a little bit extra pop behind that one for the pitcher. Takes a strike up down the inside portion of the plate. 1-1 count. So right up in the middle of the order here, Dina Arnold on deck, and then Valentini, and swinging the foul back. 1-2 the count on Storr. Swing and a miss for the first out of the inning here in the bottom of the 7th. And this pitcher has been a tough nut to crack. I don't know that, like I said, I don't know that the Bulldogs have seen his velocity exactly. They would be able to tell you down there, but I mean, I'm seeing the pop up here. And she has gotten in on her game and squares the bar. Arnold up in the air. It goes, and it is caught in the air. And 2 outs, 2 down for the Bulldogs. And they're down to their last out. And Valentini, the pitcher, at bat for the Bulldogs, and nobody likes to make the last out and doesn't want to fall on anybody's shoulders, and it sure shouldn't fall on hers, folks. And no sadness should fall on any of these players' shoulders because they've done such a good job of Valentini leading on the rubber as a sophomore the way she does and where she's brought this team. Swing and a miss on the first pitch, 0-1. She should do nothing but keep her head up because, my God, has she had a season. She's been athlete of the week, but I'll tell you what, she's brought this team, her and Dina Arnold, the relationship between the two spills over on the entirety of this team. Inside it goes. Ball 2. 2-0 the count. Or 1-1 the count, correction. 2 down, bottom of the 7th. Bulldogs on their last strand here, folks. And swing and a miss. So this being said, this is no time to be somber here for the Lady Bulldogs. I know it's tough to believe that, but they ran into a real buzzsaw here with this Lincoln squad. I'll tell you what, it's not only the pitcher who throws really fast, straight out, and this could do it, folks. Foul territory, can she get there? And it is bobbled and not quite caught. But they're exciting, and they came in, and this is a good defensive Lincoln team. They're on the money, folks. I watch them all with them. I watch them play all game long. They're no errors. They all have good arms. They all throw right on the spot. They hit their relays. We played a little bit off and you expected. Everything I saw today, nothing surprised me. I mean, a little bit of Bobble's nerves. There were nerves involved in today, but there were also comebacks, 2 of them involved in today. Twice we bounced back and came back. It's the third one right here. You know what, maybe it was one too many. And popped up and out of play. She's waiting to stay alive, Valentini. That's the story of the day, and hey, that's the way it turned out. But I'll tell you what, oh man, moving forward, it's such a no-quit team, and just to see so many different weapons from so many different names, so many different things this team can do and attack you with going forward. And that's the low and in, and that is going to go for ball number 2, even up the count at 2-2. 2 outs here, bottom of the 7th. Not going to be a big post game here, folks, because I gave it to you all game long. But what I am going to tell you is that we are going to be live across the complex for the division champion Bulldog baseball team Thursday night or Friday night, depending on the game now. The pitch. Swung on, fouled off. Stays alive. So depending on if Mount St. Charles wins, as it's probably over by now, but they played Tiverton tonight. If they won, it's live here Thursday night. If Tiverton won, it's live here Friday night. The Bulldogs baseball team has to win that game or their season is over. All 20 wins out the window. Now that's pressure. Swing, pop, foul again. Refuses to go away, Valentini. So once the Bulldogs, if they do win that game, they jump into a series, a best-of-3 series, which they will have earned home field. So in that case, they would get the home field in the first game, and if there was a third game necessary, they would get a home field in the third game. We'll be bringing you their home field out, home games action. Upstairs, good at bat here by Valentini. You'd expect nothing less. She's done it all year long. What a great hitter Valentini is. She's a multi-weapon player. She is going to be a star on the rubber and one of the cleanup hitter for the Bulldogs. 3-hitter, what do you expect? Inside, and she is hit for the second time today. Not on purpose, clearly. That ball had spin anyway. frustrating. And now Emma Caracho. No one likes to be the last out, the last Boy Scout, the last soldier, all the nicknames for her. So it's really hard whoever shoulders you put it on. And we got a pinch runner going over the first here. And I'd be careful because if you're the defense, she ain't got nothing to lose right now. Absolutely nothing. They trail by 4. There's 2 outs. The tie and run is still in the dugout. So she's going to swing with no abandon, I would imagine. And what a toolbox she brings to the table here offensively for the Bulldogs, Emma Caracciolo. And having dropped that perfect bunt on a suicide squeeze, that's the exclamation point on an absolutely fantastic sophomore season. I've seen her hit a home run, and for her to drop a suicide like she did, that was her exclamation point to me to show that she's a full circle, full-faceted player, multi-tool, and she can come at you in any way, and she's got 2 more years of growth ahead of her. Swing and a miss. Upstairs, 0-2 the count. And support still from the Bulldogs side because they haven't had nothing but great support. Foul straight back. All season long, they pile fans in for sure. And we at Westerly.live, Westerly.radio have enjoyed every minute we've brought to you. All this team, man. They represent Westerly. They couldn't represent Westerly any better. And it's popped up. I do believe it's going to be foul out of play. They really couldn't. I'm excited. This entire complex has brought such excitement this season. And next season, they're going to have goals. This season, they had to find out who they were. They really did. Some of them find out what high school softball was, what it's all about, a whole change of speed in the game. And then look at the results. Next year, they're going to have actual goals. And breaking ball, holds the inside. She is a tough nut to crack. It doesn't matter when, but she is a tough nut to crack at bat. So, yeah, like I said, the Bulldogs, this baseball team moving forward, now they know. Now they know what they have. Now it's just tools and time to refine next year. And that's low and in. Good at bat. 2-2 the count. And if it wasn't the last out of the season, trailing by 4, these outfielders would be playing deadly too shallow. She is up. It is deep. Get this one out of here for her. And it is out of here. In the trees, the no-quit. Emma Caracciolo hits a 2-run homer deep into the bushes. Touch them all, Emma. What a spectacular hitter. The second home run we have seen here today. It's a 1-run ball game, folks. And there is no quit in this squad. Holy smokes, did she get all out of that one? And folks, I told you if it wasn't this situation, the outfielders were playing way too shallow, and she drives it out of here. And folks, we just watched that young lady drop a suicide squeeze bunt successfully. And in the same game, we watch her turn on one and put it into orbit and allow this team to still have a chance. The resilience this team shows, holy smokes. There is nothing I'd rather do is watch this team right. I'll tell you, broadcast a team like this. That is exciting. Let me tell you, I'm about to have a heart attack. Emma Caracciolo, let me tell you right now, you can hit the ball. Holy smokes, can you hit the ball? You're a hitter. You're a hitter is what I should say. You can hit the ball into the moon, and you're just a full scope, all-around hitter. And this Bulldogs team, I'll tell you right now, win or lose 7-6, this is a full scope, all-around team that is going to be even better next year. I tell you right now, they're going to be even better next year. You don't want to run into this team next year. And the pitch upstairs, running to the count. I will tell you that going forward. Holy cow. I said they've entertained us all year long, man. I was quieting things down a little bit, and then boom. All year long, they have made it worth the time. And heading to first base, Fedolino, she's going to beat the throw. She is called out, and that is going to do it, folks, for the Bulldogs. But not before a fantastic effort, and I hope they don't hold their heads. Ladies, do not hold your heads. You have had an absolutely fantastic season, and it is going to be an honor to broadcast you ladies moving forward. What a spitball of a team. I know right now they're down a little bit on themselves, but man, I'll tell you what, pick their heads right back up. Unbelievable squad we have. What a pleasure to cover. We are Westerly.live, Westerly.radio. Folks, we're going to be bringing you the baseball squad. It's going to be Thursday night or it's going to be Friday night. Check out Westerly.live for the schedule. We are now signing off, folks.
All right.
Good night, all.